Hello, Kit fans, and welcome back to Talking Kit and our regular Wednesday night live show. I say every Wednesday, 8 p.m. It is Full Kit Rankers, and this is where we just chat with people from the space about 10 shirts that we have all individually ranked, and then I have scored and put into a definitive list, and we just go through that list and piss a few people off that don't like where we've all scored each other's shirts pretty much. If you're a regular, I am Bully. Hello, and I'm with James as always. James, how are we doing? All right?
I'm very good, thank you. Looking forward to this one. It's the bar's been set very high this week, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, very much so. Like I say, regular viewers may know that someone is missing. It's like back to the beginning of the main podcast, James, which was never here. Sean isn't here, unfortunately. That a wine tasting. What makes it worse is that it's a work event that he's working at, so he can't even drink the wine. So, yeah, unfortunately for him or for us, we're missing Sean tonight. But
like a fine wine, these kits aren't tonight. Some of them are. There we go.
Steve. I love it. Love it. We've started the ball rolling already in the intro. We don't even got the guests in yet to start with all these little puns. So yeah, 10 good shirts tonight, James. I think you'll agree.
Yeah.
And I'm very much looking forward to running down. Also, 3 great guests. It's almost like Sean won't be missed at all, I'm going to say. But yeah,
the bench is so strong that the starting 11, is not always needed. You see.
Well, this is it. This is when you bring the ringers off the bench and the first 11 are just terrified. But no, if it's your first time talking kit, do make sure that you like our video, subscribe and share with your friends who may be into kits just as much as us, which I find some might be hard. I don't know. But yeah, get involved. Let us know if you agree with our 10 or anywhere we've ranked them, or if you disagree, or any shirts that we've missed out on that you would have liked to have seen in the list. So before we get into which shirts we are going to be ranking, let's get the guests on. Why not? So he's a regular. You could say he's almost the 4th unofficial member of the band. There's also a rumor flying around that he threw a Tamiri Ketsbaya kind of strop for the fact that he wasn't allowed to have some Charlie Mexican shirts on his rider this week. It is, of course, Josh, a.k.a. the Kitsman.
All right.
Evening. I told you
he
it was
loves
a good
it,
one.
really. He loves it, really.
I absolutely love it. I love the attention. Just give it to me.
like a true diva. Like a true diva.
Can I just say as well, the intro music, where you got that from, it fills me with joy.
We've got
connections. You've got connections.
Yeah. A good friend of ours, yeah. Sorry,
friend, no, I'm gonna say, yeah, friend of yours, really, James. I know him through you. Musician in a couple of bands, I believe. We asked him.
Fan, big football fan.
It's really quick as well, because we had an idea in mind, sort of, the Saints and Greasy kind of old 80s football show. Yeah. We wanted that kind of theme, and he just straight away pretty much knocked out the park. It was
stellar work. It really is.
Yeah. My favorite part of the intro. It's not the actual music. It's watching you all dance away at the bottom at the start of the show. You see the different windows, and everyone's. Sean's the best. He goes for it fully.
Really
I might one week I might just throw him into the mix without even knowing. Yeah, see what he's saying. But you're good, Josh. Yeah, everything's okay since last week.
I'm all right. I've got my lovely football shirt, pineapple plant here. Yeah, it's basically I'm just trying to make it look less like a dull room. So I brought this into the fray, and I'm leaning my lover's guide to football shirts book just here. No product placement. Just literally, it's not even mine. But I thought, we need to sort of do something to make it look like it's not, an IKEA showroom.
Valentine's around the corner. A lover's guide is perfect, Josh.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh.
But when she sees the football kit, she's done it completely the window. Oh man.
You've wrapped it. What is it? The Kama Sutra? You wish it was the Kama Sutra.
You wish. Even better than that.
Oh, brilliant. But Josh, as always, thank you very much for joining us. It's been it's great. It's great to have you here. Okay, next we've got. He calls himself a nerd, so he is absolutely obsessed with kits. A great account to follow on Twitter. Again, I'll say this because obviously if it's the first time that they're on the show, obviously someone you interact with these accounts and then you realise that they are just as much as in love with kits as you are, and also great people, which makes it great to have them on the show. So yeah, we've been trying to get him on for a little bit. I'm not saying he's a bit of a diva like Josh and he ignores his DMs or he's really hard to get hold of and don't message you back. But maybe that's the case. Maybe that is what happened. I don't know.
It's with my PA. It's with my PA.
Speak to my people.
Yeah, you can tell. It is Jake, aka the Kit Nerd. How you going, Jake? You okay?
Oh, I'm all right, thank you. It was a lovely one. I think I'm quite good at getting back, but it just seemed to be something with you.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling like, oh, you don't like us, you don't want to know what we're up to or anything. I wasn't feeling insecure or anything, mate. It's absolutely fine. But no,
I don't want to make you feel bad about the future, but it is usually my kids that are making me difficult.
Don't blame your kids. Blame us. Don't blame your kids. That's fine. I don't want to be that guy. Not at all. But it's great. It's great to have you on, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you about the kits that when I sent to you, you said I don't really like any of them, which made me think, oh, okay.
Wow.
And
it's
I'm
difficult.
Yeah, but you never know. So, if we all like the same thing, the kit space would be absolutely boring, won't it? We won't be charging £450 for a shirt. But never mind. We'll get onto that a little later on.
Won't let that drop, will you?
Well, no. And last but not least, and again, someone great in the space. I'm so happy to get him on. Hopefully, it's building a relationship. There, we can do something for the channel where we go over and visit him. It is Ryan from Northern Ireland Classic Shirt Co. And I'm really pleased to be having him on. Evening, Ryan. You okay?
Yeah, all good. Thanks very much for having me. Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure, honestly. Absolutely our pleasure. So, yeah, this is the panel for tonight. Like I say, no Sean. Yeah, glad to each of you is to be here with us and talking through these shirts. I think it's getting better every single week. And the guests, obviously, show that as well this week. Very strong lineup indeed. I have to say that because that's in Josh's contract. Yeah, well.
Contract? I wish.
So yeah, we'll get into this week's shirts in what we are ranking. It's quite funny actually how it worked. I put a tweet out totally after we'd already decided what we're doing this week about a shirt listed on a website for a ridiculous price, and it turned out it was an Ajax shirt. But we'd already decided that we are going to do 10 Ajax away and third shirts, just mainly because I think they've had a varied and a great range of shirts. The home shirt, which Ryan's wearing tonight, it's the standard Ajax. It's two white stripes with the red in the middle. But the away shirts have been, just sort of rainbow of colours and designs. And I think they're definitely something that should be talked about. So we've picked 10, but there were a lot that missed out. And 5 that I'm going to show you probably could have snuck in there. I'll be honest, I think I may have mixed up one of them. And I should have, one of the ones that didn't get in, I meant to put in, but I didn't. But I'll let you decide on that one. So the first one that missed out is very well known for the sort of Champions League shirt that they were known for a couple of seasons ago. So this didn't make our list of 10. I'll just quickly ask any of you, would any of you have had that in your top 10?
I think over the 2016-17 one, definitely. I think I would have went with that one instead. But then the giveaway where I put the 16-17 one, but maybe I haven't already.
That's fine. Jake, would you have had this in your 10?
Well, do you know what? To begin with, I think I would have done, but then I saw someone posted it the other day for sale, and I got really excited. And then I kind of just looked at it and thought, do you know what? Actually, as a shirt, I kind of forgot about the context of what goes with it. I kind of thought it's okay. So you know, I think I'm happy with where it is.
No,
perfect. And Josh?
Yeah, it's a strong shirt. It's a template as well, isn't it? It was used quite heavily. I think Brentford used it with like a really weird brown, orange, and white I think they did. It's nice, but it wasn't unique to them. So I'd probably put it up there, but probably not.
And so middle of the road. That's fine. And James?
No, I think out of the 10 that you've selected that we're going to go on to, it's a nice honourable mention, but I think you've picked the right 10, to be honest, for us to discuss. It's middle of the road for Ajax, especially with the second and third shirt. So, yeah, I think you've done well to omit this one, Aaron.
Fair enough. Quickly, I'll move on to another one that I could have had. Oh, that one. Fluorescent. Right. Strain your eyes. Almost made the list. Jake's hiding. Yeah. Guessing none of you would have had this.
This is a goalkeeper shirt.
Doesn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
I do like the trim at the bottom, but yeah, it's
It looks like
green and red.
It does. It looks like someone's used Microsoft Paint to design a shirt. You know, like a kid step out for a bit.
I think after the match, you all went and with Lollipop Men for a little bit, was helping kids across the road. We'll move on. And 93 to 94, would any of you like this one? The lace collar, similar to the United around that time.
that seems older than that 90s era with the way it looks there. But
Yeah,
it is nice,
very,
actually.
very Manchester United, but
It is really nice, actually. That one. That's really strong.
Yeah, that's
this is the one I think I've mixed up. And there's a shirt very similar, which you'll all probably guess. And I've probably just oversighted on that one. But that didn't make the list either. Probably should have, now looking at it. Strange one. This is from 97 to 98.
That's
There's
a template, right?
Yeah. We'll look at, very similar to
it's like Norway.
Norway, yeah. But I noticed there was two versions of this. I don't know if there's a story behind it that I've not managed to find. But there was this one, and then there was one that had the more prominent Ajax badge. Well, obviously both from the same season. So, no. Would any of you had that one? Oh, this one or the one after?
I think without the
Definitely a talking point, isn't it?
Without the badges at the bottom is quite nice. I think with the badges across, it's a bit much, but I always like that template anyway. So maybe a bit biased that way, but
For me, that looks like a Rangers shirt or something. I don't know why I'm getting that impression, but maybe it is I don't know. But I think I like it when it pops with the red, personally. But
Quite like the little
Josh,
Ajax
talking
school.
point.
I like the Ajax school bit down the bottom, because on the United one they've got Theatre of Dreams. That's much more prominent about sort of their history and whatnot. I don't know if the Norway version's got anything.
it was one of the J League teams had it as well. I'm sure I can't remember who it was. But it was blue with the black collar. I think it was quite plain design though.
So that the Ajax one actually says Ajax School of Excellence. So I don't know if the second one has that as well. Yeah. So I thought whether that was a youth one, but they both say Ajax School of Excellence. So that's an odd one. And the last one that didn't make the list.
Right.
Say that again, Josh.
Did you say that again, Josh?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying the actual Ajax badges look like they've been proper stretched.
Yeah, they do a little bit. Yeah. And the last one, I put this in for Josh because it'll remind him of his own team. See if he remembers this one. If I can get it up. Hey, there we go. Similar to Newcastle's in sort of 2010, was it?
Yeah. That's around about that, yeah.
It's almost like the colours ran on it, like, as if the badge is giving off the colour. But
looks like it's been burnt by a radiator or something. Like obviously burnt in the middle. So they were some shirts that missed out on the top 10. So we'll start off with number 10 then. Also, like I have to say as well on the show, I like that everyone's wearing sort of Dutch shirts or have an Ajax shirt somewhere on them. I know you got a Bristol, Jake. It's okay. I can see the Ajax behind you.
I tried.
Right. So I like to say we've all made some effort, which is great. So number 10 on the list then, scoring only 11 points. No one was really a fan of it, and I don't really blame them. isn't the greatest. Even though I have the sort of newest version of that shirt, it is the 06 to 07 away shirt. It didn't get higher than 8th on anyone's list. Two people put it down as 10th. That was both Josh and Jake. So we'll start there then. Josh, 10th on your list. Why is this the worst shirt that we gave to you?
Yeah, sorry if I keep looking up as well, but I've got this on a bigger screen as well just to get a better look at it. But yeah, no, it's just ugly, isn't it? I mean, it is. It just looks a bit lost. It just, I mean, am I right in thinking this is it Team Geist? Someone else might be able to, or Adidas Geist
I think
or
so,
something
yeah.
like.
And the team guys 10th.
Yeah.
That's right. Just looks a bit strange. I mean, I've got a feeling that actual picture we're looking at right now, that collar there, maybe not completely straight, or is that like that? I don't know, but it just looks really, really, really messy. I appreciate sort of like the idea involved and the way that it curves round and such. And I know that shape is very prevalent with the Adidas stuff that season and beyond, but I just think it's a really, really, really nasty looking design, and really don't think that it's something that I would want to wear personally. And that's sometimes what I judge a lot of these shirts on, but I wear it and it's just really unbalanced.
Yeah, some great points. Jake, again, you put it dead last on your list. You echo a lot what Josh is saying.
Pretty much. When they were bringing it back through all the Team Geist shirts that Adidas released earlier this year or towards the end of last year, it was kind of like, why? They're just very uninspiring. And I can't remember who it was having a conversation about whether the noughties was like the worst time for football shirts, and this kind of, I think, adds sort of value to that question, really.
Yeah, I think looking back, I think this template in particular gets a lot of sort of hate nowadays. I think it was Kit Mag, wasn't it? They were talking. I think it was in their Room 101 feature. I think they've said
it was actually
were the worst. But no, shout out to Kit Mag. Great podcast. Make sure you check it out after you've obviously watched ours. That'll be great. So yeah, no, like I say, Jake's put it dead last as well. Again, not a lot of loving. Myself, Sean, and Ryan all put it 9th on our list, so only one place higher. Ryan, what's the issue with this shirt for you?
I think really, as it was said there, it's just the messiness of it. I find it odd that the sponsor, the Bads and the Adidas are aligned, and then it's just a big squiggle down the side. You know, I don't understand why they thought they would get everything aligned and then just go nuts on one side of it. You know, if it had even been like a sort of faded design through it or something, you can maybe have went with that a bit easier, but it's just so harsh. And the white line just, I think what I said before about joking about that Adidas one with someone doing it with paint shop, it kind of looks like that too. They've given this template and then just let someone go nuts with a collar and drip all the way down the side. So yeah, I can't warm that template at all.
Yeah, it's probably the worst of the 10 that we gave you. James, you ranked it highest at 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So you obviously do two worse than this.
Yeah. I didn't score it dead last. I completely take on board everyone else's points. It is one of those naughties kits that's just, it's like an every kit. I mean, take the badge off it and the sponsor, it could be anyone's really, couldn't it, as a third or second kit. There's a couple more in there that I felt personally, again, like Josh said, just personal taste, scored a little bit lower, but this isn't, albeit the colour scheme might be memorable for Ajax, it's not a memorable kit for me, and it's not one that I would want in my collection compared to some of the others in this lineup tonight.
Yeah, no, great points. So with 11 points, the 06-07 away shirt has come dead last. Sean, if anyone is interested, he actually has sent me his would he wear it on a night out list for each one, and he put this at 0. The only shirt to get a 0, so you wouldn't even wear it to the pub. That's how
I don't think you get in.
Sean, I think that you probably wouldn't. But if you had that side part, you might. I don't know.
Yeah.
But with jacket on. But yeah, there we go. 0607 coming in dead last on our list of Ajax away and third shirts with a measly 11 points is this shirt. So we'll move on. Number 9 on the list. One I thought maybe would have got a little bit higher. Come in with 22 points. It is. Oh no, sorry, the picture there of
Huntelaar, is it?
See, it looks better.
Yeah, it looks better on.
Yeah.
You think the red shorts don't do anything
Yes, he
for me.
does.
Oh, that's
Forgot.
fascinating, isn't it?
You all wish you'd scored at 8th now, don't you?
Yeah.
Maybe not. So yeah, there we go. There is that shirt. Moving on, it is this. It's the 91 to 93 away shirt. It's probably the one I should have switched out with the 93-94 if I'm looking back and being critical of myself. So yeah, Sean, who isn't here, this was the shirt he put dead last. Although he would wear it on. He put 1 out of 10 for wearing it on a night out, which doesn't make much sense considering the other one had 0. But yeah. So we'll move on, and I'm going to start with you, Ryan, because you put this first on your list.
Yeah, I know. Raising eyebrows probably everywhere doing that. But I don't know. I've always loved that shirt. I've always loved the stripes on it, and I know I'm sitting saying about the previous one with a crazy collar, but at least that's sort of in sync with the A. There's a bit of organisation there to it. That's just a shirt I remember getting as a kid, I think at some point as well. I don't know if it was a cousin or uncle or someone passed it down, and I wore it as much as I possibly could. Basically, it was probably too big for me too, but I still wore it. So maybe there's a sentiment to it a wee bit, but I've always liked that design.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I think I put this 7th in my list, but I think it's just because other shirts I like more. But no, I'm a fan. I like the sort of diamond at the shoulder and neck part. I think it works quite well. James, yeah, you had this 9th as well as Josh. So yeah, how come you're not? How come you think that shirt was the team guy better than this Umbro effort?
I don't know. Like I say, it was a tough lineup, but for me, I don't know, the sort of the triangle over the shoulder doesn't really do much for me. I don't know. It sort of takes away from the uniform of it. That may, I imagine that goes right over onto the back, but that just takes away from it a little bit for me. I do like the collar on this, but yeah, just wasn't feeling it doing this. Yeah, I don't know. It's not the best one out the list. Like I say, it was a tough list this week, but yeah, just wasn't feeling it, and just the triangle for me just takes away from it.
No problem. 9th for you as well, then, Josh. So yeah, what are your thoughts and feelings on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that lost triangle, isn't it? It just seems to have been slapped onto there. It's like a dual pinstripe, which is quite nice, and it could have been just good with that. It's almost looked like they've got like a cape. And it's, you know what I mean?
Over his shoulder. Yeah,
it's just like Superman with a bit of swag. It's like, just put that over there. But yeah, it's almost like they had a great design and then just thought, you know what, should we just pop something else on there? Yeah, let's just pop a yellow a triangle on it. But talking about the back's got like this even finer pinstripe, and it's got Ajax in yellow just at the back. So that, if I'd have known that, maybe I'd have scored it a little bit more. But no, it just seems to be a bit lost, that one. And I don't quite understand why that's there. Everything else is all right, but it just seems a bit of an afterthought.
No problem. The diamond or the triangle not getting a lot of love.
I can only see a cape now. That's all I can see now.
Yeah. Some like ambassador or something walking into a big party wearing a cape with an Ajax shirt. Looks very weird. Jake, you've had it 8th in your list.
Yes.
It's
that big massive blob of yellow, isn't it? It's just it does take away those pinstripes, and the colouring of the yellow and the green looks really, really nice. As part of it, there's a football shirts for charity. They had their 2 shirts, and I picked the yellow and the green one on there, and it looks really smart, that kind of colour. But then there's just this massive blob, and then also I can't deal with the fact that nothing is aligned. So whether they could have put the Umbro at the top of the ABN, or then the crest is quite low. To So it's kind of like it just all seemed a little bit off and missed. It was like it was so close, but then they just folded it right up.
So there we go. Should I tell you what, Sean? I said Sean, didn't I? He put it down as 1. Last on his list, and he put it down as 1. Yeah. But I'm a bit more of a fan, it seems, than everyone else on the list. So yeah, coming in on 9th on the list with 22 points is the Ajax 91-93 away shirt. We see a picture there of, like I say, I think it works well as a full kit as well, I have to say. Dennis Bergkamp there in his
Bergkamp
Ajax
getting
days.
pulled over by defenders, getting a hold of his cape. That was a problem.
That never cuts, Dennis. It'll be all right.
Yeah, he doesn't use it to fly though, does he?
Very good.
It's very, very good. That was very, very good. Okay, then. So next on the list, moving up to 8th. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one, I have to say straight away. It is the 98-99 away shirt. Another Umbro effort from Ajax. It got a total of 24 points. Very close to the 9th place shirt. Who had this highest? Let's have a look. We have... actually, it was James. Had it 5th on his list, middle of the road.
Yeah.
Tell us why you like it.
It's, you know what, it's
So
very
much more than
reminiscent
yourself.
of a lot of sort of Premier League kits at the time. It looks like Middlesbrough away to me. It's very, I don't know, and that doesn't necessarily mean it scores higher, but it just, for me, it's a very 90s kit, and it smacks of nostalgia for me, which is why I guess I scored. It's not super high, but it's higher than some of the others I've had previously. Really big fan of the collar on there as well. But yeah, I quite like it. I like how sort of the Umbro is boxed in on there as well. Again, there's better kits to come and follow, but yeah, for me, I quite like it. I like the nostalgia that it at least gives me when I look at this shirt. Perhaps similar to Ryan in the last kit. Yeah.
Some great points there, and I kind of agree. Do you not think it looks like it's soaking wet through? Like it does look wet.
Can you not imagine Phil Stamp wearing that? That's what I think. I don't know why. Just reminds me of Middlesbrough. I don't know why. But
Yeah, I guess. It just looks wet. It just looks like a bit
like
heavy.
leather.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not a fan. I like the collar. Is very 90s Umbro. It's very much a 90s Umbro shirt, and you're right. You're right in that. Just looks soaking wet. I just feel like heavy looking at it. Never mind wearing it. So yeah, you like say James had it highest in 5th. 3 Busquets, 7th. Sean, Josh, and Jake. We'll start with you, Jake. 7th on your list, mate.
I know exactly what you're saying there. It looks like it's only ever going to be played on a muddy pitch, doesn't it? Like you could never imagine it being played on a nice pitch in May or anything like that. I quite like the general colour scheme. I mean, like James, I really like that collar, but I think maybe that reminds me of sort of some nice Man United kits of that time with the red, black, and white. But the things that bother me, again, it's a bit of OCD or something coming in, but I just don't like how the Umbro is boxed in, but I don't like how it breaks the lines.
Yeah.
And like if it's not too far over, and it's like because it's so long, it almost meets the middle, and then the badge is in the middle. So it's over the top of the badge, and so I really like the colour scheme. I liked what they're trying to do, but again, it's just too many.
Jake takes about 2 hours to make a bed, I imagine.
Yeah,
everything is just perfect.
It's like 15 times before bed. Yeah,
you should see me restack the dishwasher.
Oh, but it's beautiful.
Jake, then, do you think sort of is a reason why maybe you're not a big fan of these kits is because maybe the sponsor look, the placement, maybe that has hindered them in the design a lot of the shirts, and it's knocked it off center and sent your OCD.
I think it restricts them, but there is something really iconic about that sponsor, though, because I mean, I don't think I can think of many others that have not been straight across the stump or anything like that. I mean, you've got Mexican teams, they're everywhere, but with these guys, and the only other instance I can think of is the Inter Force shirt from last year. So it's very distinctive, and I really rate it for that sense. But I think, yeah, a lot of these things, because they move it about quite a lot when you compare things. Some of the crests are really low, sometimes they're quite high, they're aligned, they're quite all over the place. So it seems like people don't know what to do with them.
Yeah. No, yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. For interest, I had it dead last on mine. Just not a fan of it at all. Pretty much worst shirt for me. But I do remember it, and it stands out, and it was iconic for me, and it's a shirt I wanted to put in there just for talking points. Other than James, Ryan, we'll finish off with you. You had it 6 in your list, then, mate. Have you ready to like it more or less after what everyone said, or?
I don't know. Like, it's silly because Umbro tags are always blue, but it looks so out of place looking at it, at that layout. I know you won't see it when you're wearing it, but all I can see is a blue square, and it just doesn't make any sense. So it's just like, it just is wrong. But they're not going to change it for just one shirt, which is fair enough. But it just seems out of place. See, it looks all right there. You don't see the blue, so
it looks like he's peed his pants. Tell me I'm wrong. He's had an
yeah,
accident.
I like the shirt. I like the shirt being.
They're made out of a bin bag.
Yeah, it looks like a bin bag. Have you ever seen that Missy Elliott video when she's in a big? That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. But so you do like it. You do quite like it as a shirt.
I do quite like it, and it is just sort of odd with the badge and stuff with the Umbro.
I'll tell you what, just go back to that image, Aaron. Sorry, because it's it's still a bit of a kit clash, that isn't it? Playing against a team in white.
Yeah.
Anyway,
White
I'm not a ref. I'm just,
No, that is going to cause problems, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. So there we go.
Can't wear our home shirt because there's too much white on it, so we'll wear the away kit, which has got loads of white on it, just in a different place.
A lot of white on it, yeah.
Should have gone skins.
No, sure not. So there we go. The 98 to 99 away shirt is 8th on our list with 24 points. I think it's right. They should be there, or if not, a little bit lower. Moving on, we'll go to 7th, a point higher than this shirt, and it is the 01 to 02 away shirt. Very nice for me. I think I've scored it pretty much maybe a little bit lower actually. But I do like it. Like I said, there is better shirts. Josh, we want to kick it off with you. Second in your list.
Yeah, I think this is probably. Yeah, it's probably one of the most sort of the first shirts that I think I'd probably wear, I'd probably buy, I'd probably look out for. If I took it off a rack, I wouldn't sort of want to necessarily put it back. That wasn't meant to rhyme. I think everything's finally balanced. I often find with like Ajax shirts, it's almost like when you've got a board game and you sort of like empty all the pieces and you just start putting it and assembling things together. It's almost like with most of these Ajax shirts, it's like they've sort of, moved everything, put it on, and it's like, well, we'll put that there, and then we'll put that there, and then we'll move this here. And I think this is the first one which actually looks like everything's meant to be there. I could be alone in that, but I think that's probably the most solid design that we've seen so far.
I think Jake's going to agree with that. Look at that symmetry. Yeah. Look at the parallel on those three there. Oh.
That's the story. I want to go next.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, let us know, Jake. What do you agree?
Sorry, somebody's got the PowerPoint tools and they've gone align center, grouped them up really nicely. I think the only thing that I thought of when I originally saw it was that it looks like a white shirt that's just gone bad. That's been washed one too many times. It's just that weird off-white type grey almost. But I think it's still, I don't know. My initial thing was to hate it, and then I actually thought it was all right. I think the picture you showed, I think it was Mido?
Mido and Zlatan, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw that, and I was kind of like, oh, yeah, well, I quite like it in that sense, in that arena and sort of on the pitch. But just generally, I feel like it was one of those, if you got it in a bundle of so many, then you'd be like, oh, that's a shame.
No, fair enough. And that's why it was 9th on your list, then, mate. Yeah.
Oh, still 9th.
9th, yeah. We'll move on to Ryan. You had it 7th in your list, mate. Give us your thoughts on this kit.
I think maybe the fact that Ibrahimovic was in it too, and that complete maniac Mido probably helped as well, because quite like them. Quite obviously still watch.
What a strike partnership!
Yeah, and just Mido then. Just I think that was pre-Spurs, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it would have been. Yeah,
the guy was just such a maverick, like just such a crazy guy, you know. And I was quite fond of watching him play. I do like the shirt. I think you were saying about the symmetry with the badges. Just looking at it flat there, it actually looks like if you look at the tip of the A, the tip of the X, and the tip of the audio, it's on a slant, or is that just how my eyes are seeing it? Yeah, it seems like if you want it to be symmetrical, you know, if they really, really wanted it to be symmetrical, they could have made the sponsor just maybe 2 or 3 centimeters below.
Don't start telling me things like that.
Guys, I'd love to see your Panini sticker albums. Your Panini sticker albums must be so spot on.
Yeah. Just before
I don't put them in there. I can't deal with it.
Yeah, you don't put them in. You're just like, no, I'll just keep them. Okay, I've got them all, but I've not put them in.
It does look like they've just chucked all the pieces and threw it all together and thought we'll worry about it, you know, being a line after. We've got our straight line down the middle. We're good. So, but it just. Yeah, sorry, Jake, but it's like really messy, symmetrical. You know what I mean? It's on a downward hill, backwards. So, but it's kind of funny as well with the cover. You were saying about it being washed out. I don't think they were preparing for shirts to be, you know, collected then as vintage, but like that'll always be that cover. And if it washes out, I don't see how it gets any different. You know, it's almost like preempted that, because if that's 10 years older or whatever, it's probably going to be the exact same regardless how it's washed, I think.
Oh yeah, some good points. Yeah, like I say, players making shirts, like obviously Young, Zlatan and Mido both wearing it there. Big fan of the shorts myself. Always been a big fan of shorts. So James, we'll finish off for you on this one. What do you put it? You put it 7th on your list. Let us know why.
Good kit. It's almost like the color scheme is like as if you're watching it on a black and white TV, and you just have to guess what the colors are almost. I like it. It's a nice kit. Again, just this week, there's some really tough ones that are hard to separate. So for me, the collar lets it down a little bit if I'm going off personal taste. I do quite like the symmetry. I get the symmetry, and certainly from what Jake said from previous shirts, I understand what he means completely, and I probably didn't think about that when scoring these. Always looks better as a long sleeve as well from the Mido and Zlatan picture. But yeah, the collar for me probably marks it down a little bit.
No, that's perfectly fine. So yeah, there we go. It is 7th on our list. It's the 01-02 away shirt, coming in with 25 points. And yeah, that's where we have all individually scored it. Moving on, it's not Jake's favourite shirt, as he mentioned in the intro to the show. Coming in with 31 points, and it's 6 on the list. It is the 16-17 away shirt. This absolutely passed me by, the shirt. When sourcing the shirts, I'd never actually seen it before. I'm a big fan. I think I put it 6 on my list. And yeah, Sean put it 2nd in his. He is obviously a big fan. Let's me just check his rating. Oh, he's put it 10. He'd wear it on a night out. 10 out of 10 for this shirt from Sean. Well, yeah, next are who had it highest in there. So we'll start with Jake. You actually had it highest out of all of us in 5th. Tell us the reason why you're a big fan of this one, or a fan at all.
It's different, isn't it? Really, I guess. I think that I quite like the fact that they've brought in the 3 X's that they quite like, as they're running as sort of a nice theme through a lot of their kits, especially recently. The colour's pretty good as well. So there's not too much going on. So they try to bring the stripes in quite a bit with the other ones. We saw the black and white ones. So it just seems to be a bit nice and vivid to me. And I think when we used the picture, it was Casper Dolberg, wasn't it? It looked good on the pitch. I think it just all tied together quite nicely.
Yeah, I fully agree. Definitely one of the nicest shirts they've had in recent memory in terms of away shirts. I know they've had a lot, but I think for me personally, it's definitely up there. We'll go straight to Ryan then, because it was the bottom of his pile.
My wife just come in there from the gym to tell me there's 2 fire engines across the road, and so all sorts of drama in our street. Yeah, and Mice is scummed because it's live. She's away.
Because the kits are on fire, Ryan. That's what it is.
Please no.
Well, it's not something worth laughing about.
Yeah.
It's funny actually seeing that image of the shirt. I probably wouldn't have actually put it as low as I did, but at the same time, I can't warm the big X's on it. I like when I have the X's on the shirts, but just that particular one, I couldn't see. I couldn't warm to it at all. Just couldn't like it. It just seems a bit messy. So, but I
do think it would be better if maybe it was a bit more faded, so it was a bit more subtle.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. It's a good shirt actually, but because the cover scheme's okay. Like I don't mind it. It's quite bold. It's a bit slightly different, but I know sort of wearing a shirt relatively close to that template, but that Adidas template as well. Like I think it's because they're still using it. And the stripes like that in the sleeves is starting to really grate on me a bit as well.
Yeah, I think United's home shirt is using that this season as well. And so yeah, like I say, they're still using it now. But yeah, so 10th on your list, maybe would have put it a little bit higher after seeing it again. But it's a good, that's a difference in shirts. Obviously, Jake saying he likes the X's. You not so much. Maybe it would have been better if they were a little bit more subtle. We'll move on then, and we'll go to let's go to Josh on this one. 6 on your list, Josh.
Yeah, I think it's a really strong design. It's quite hipster, isn't it? I only recently, I kind of had an idea what VXs were for, but I didn't know that was like the flag of Amsterdam. So that being plastered across the front of the shirt, yeah, it's nice. I think, like a lot of people have said, it probably is a little bit too sort of harsh on there, isn't it? I don't know if it's the same sort of tone of whatever it is, colour as it is on the sleeves, perhaps, or is it even lighter than that? I don't know, but it probably could have done with being a bit fainter. But no, like I say, it's as far away from an Ajax shirt as you could probably get. But no, I like it. I think it's a good shirt, worthy of 6, because like I said, there's so many others in this list which are better than that one. Oh, and I didn't realise that it was a lighter blue short with it as well, and socks.
Yeah.
Completely missed me by as well, by the way. I could not remember this at all.
No. I went on old football shirts, just had a look through their list that they've got on there. And when I saw this, I was like, that's interesting. Like I've never seen it. And then when I got a picture, Casper Dolberg there in sort of the lighter shorts. No, I think it's quite nice. James, we'll finish off for you then, mate. You were the same as myself and Josh in 6. You a fan then?
Yeah, I like it. I do like the crosses, obviously the Amsterdam crosses. I do like sort of the colour scheme with it as well. I mean, I can agree with that. You know what? I probably scored it quite harshly, really. And I know that things move on, but I'm a sucker for that sort of classic sponsorship. So yeah, this one, is it Zigo? And it's one of those when you think of, I actually don't associate that sponsor. It's similar to maybe United with Sharp or Liverpool with Carlsberg, at least in my head, which perhaps scored it a little bit further down this time round for me. But it's a really nice kit, and like we said with the shorts as well, just echoing what Josh said there, I think that adds to it as well. So yeah, it's a nice kit.
Yeah, echo them thoughts entirely. So 6 on our list, the 16-17 away shirt from Ajax by Adidas. And yeah, with 31 points, we'll move on quickly then. So 5th in the list, probably I'd say classed as a classic. You might want to say about this shirt, 39 points. I'm going to have to start with you on James on this one when we see it, because you put it dead last in your list, which I am
Yeah,
appalled.
the longer this was not coming up, I was like, okay, here we go.
Absolutely appalled by this opinion. It is the 89-90 away shirt, probably one of the most iconic Ajax away shirts for me personally. Yeah, James, I need to know why you've put this dead last.
It's like one of those magic eyes. It's like I'm going to see something, and it's eye catching, but for me, for the wrong reasons. Like, there's so much going on with it, and I know it's like just essentially one pattern, but it's almost like they've spliced two kits together. Yeah, and you can tell it's 80s, but it seems like it'd be further back in the 80s than 89. So for me, and again, is it the older badge as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
is. Yeah.
So again, that's marked it down lower. Just in my own personal opinion, you might not be able to zoom in as well on this, but yeah, it's the older badge. So much going on with it, and I just had to score it down. I think you might have the image of, I want to say Bergkamp is playing in it. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not a fan of it, even when it's worn. And obviously his opponent's not a fan of it either. So yeah, for me, that's why I scored it. And I had a feeling that people would absolutely love this shirt, but for me personally, it was 10th for me.
Yeah, you had it 10th. It got a mixture of scores, really. It was all over the show. Both myself and Ryan put it third. Ryan, we'll jump to you then, mate. Like I say, you had it third in your list. Why is James wrong? Tell me.
Well, the thing is, it's the collar. I quite like the collar on the button, and I quite like the. I never really say this, but I quite like the sponsor on it too. I don't know why. I just like the design of it, and I kind of like the old badge. To be fair, although it's quite messy in a way, but I do like the old badge. I do think it's rated. Like, we're rating it in third in context of the shirts that we're looking at here, but I think it is rated a bit too high in general sort of kit sort of folklore or whatever, or kit sort of culture, I guess. I do think it gets blown up that way a bit too much. Isn't there I can't remember, I think it's a Brazilian team had the black and white version of that template as well. For the life of me, I can't remember who it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a Brazilian team. And it looks nicer in black and white. It looks better in black and white. It's not as harsh on the eyes as you were saying, James. You're looking at it like thinking there's going to be something in there. It's like a trick pattern or something,
Yeah.
But in black and white, it looks really nice. I wish I'd have remembered the team that wore it in black and white. But no, it's in context of the shirts that we're looking at there. Certainly, I think it deserves to be top 3, but it wouldn't be anywhere near my top 10 in general search, I don't think.
No, that's absolutely fair. I know what you mean. It does look somewhat like that a Jester would wear, or Harley Quinn would maybe wear something similar to this, definitely. But James, as well, I'm surprised you've not mentioned the sponsor, that it's sort of blocked out. You're not really a fan of that, are you, on sponsors?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't merge with the kit, does it? It doesn't go. It's like they ironed it on afterwards in the club shop. So yeah.
Yeah. So moving on then, and one place lower than I and Ryan was Jake in 4th. Do you agree, Jake, that it's maybe overhyped a little bit, this kit, or is it a great kit and should be adored?
I kind of wanted to score it lower, but I couldn't because there were things that were worse than it. But I'm kind of aligned with James in the fact that I don't really like it very much. I'm a fan of buttons. I quite like the buttons right on here. But again, if it could be all of that bottom half design, then maybe that would be good. Or maybe if it could be all of the blue with the pinstripes, then that would be good. But it doesn't seem to be like, I can't make sense of why the designs are meeting where they meet.
Yeah, even just have it on the sleeves and just the rest with the pin and the blue. I think that would be a really, really nice kit.
Yeah,
I completely get what you're saying there, Jake. It's like, where does it start and end? It's just a bit much.
And also just the general, like, the bottom half reminds me of like tiling from like an 80s diner of some sort.
Yeah. That's
a
true.
pin.
Yeah, it used to be a McDonald's.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
It used to be a McDonald's in Manchester, in the Arndale, and it had a big tile mural of two footballers, one wearing blue, one wearing red for Manchester United. It reminds me of that. Now you've mentioned it, that's brought it straight to my head. So, yeah, thanks for ruining that kit for me, Jake. That's thank you very much. I need someone to agree with me. So we're going to go to Josh because he had it number 1 in his list. Come on, Josh. Tell them why they're all wrong. Come on.
I don't know now. I'm questioning all of my my values. Like now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking like my mind was probably saying to probably go for number 1 because otherwise there'd be this almighty gasp across the land of he's not scored that not first. But my heart is actually now I'm looking at it is thinking different things. It is almost like an artist has started like a really nice painting at the top with like the pinstripes and then thought, nah, and then gone a bit abstract at the bottom, and then you've got this like collision of different ideas. So now I'm describing it as something which is absolutely evil looking as opposed to number 1. I think I need to look at myself in the mirror.
This is what this is all about. It's self-reflection, you know.
I need to search for my soul and figure out why I've gone and put this first, because it is a monstrosity, actually, isn't it? More and more I think about it.
You've all made Josh question his whole life choices. It's amazing.
He's closing his Twitter down. He's stopping everything.
Yeah, the consman. Yeah, the fraudsman. No, I don't like it actually, and I don't know why I put it first. And I would like to stop talking.
Also, as well, I just noticed. I don't know if you can see it, but on the actual player version or the one that Bergkamp's wearing, the white around the sponsor looks a hell of a lot bigger, and that actually puts me off even more. Like, I don't know why they've done that.
That could be just that guy stretching it, to be fair. But
that's very true. Actually, yeah, it could be that. Right, okay. So from scoring 5th, probably shouldn't have even been in the 10. It sounds like going off everyone. That is the 89-90 away shirt with 39 points overall. And we've seen the breakdown of a man's whole entire existence in
TDK. It stands for totally disrespectful kit. that is what that stands for right there. Sorry, anyway, I feel like I'm melting down.
I think
totally disintegrating kitsman.
Yeah. Let's move on quick before Josh just disappears from the stream altogether. Right, so let's get into number 4 on the list. 41 points. It's a kit that everyone's seen, everyone knows about in the space at the moment. One from this year. It's the only 3rd kit on the list. I know I've said it's Ajax away in 3rds, but it's the only 3rd kit that's on the list, and it is from this year, and it's right there. It was live for me in the flesh, not you. It is the Ajax 21-22, 3 little birds. Bob Marley inspired 3rd shirt. Great kit, I think. I think it's deserving of being in the top 5 for me. I had it 4th on my list. Sean had it 1st on his list. So beyond, not surprised to learn he put it 10 in terms of going out and wearing on a night out, probably to a Whalers concert or something like that, maybe. Yeah, who else scored it quite high? Let's have a look on the list. James, 2nd on your list. Yeah, yes. You didn't buy one today when you had the chance.
No, I had the opportunity today. I was in the Adidas store looking at a few of the things, but no, I refrained. I held back. Do like it, big fan of it. I like the idea, the concept of it, and obviously the tricolour Adidas there with the different colours. It's a great kit, and I think for us in this sort of kit world, this that we're all sort of indulging in, this is going to be one of those that just sticks around, I think, for years to come. It's going to be really iconic, which it already is, to be fair. But I'm trying to quickly rack my brains as to what I put number 1 above this. But yeah, it's a a big fan of this one. I think I will invest in one. Currently £70 in stores. But yeah, I think I will invest in one at some point.
Yeah. I think I've seen a lot more recently. A lot of people raved over it, and I think the last few months I've seen people sort of dwindle on it. A bit like Josh on that last kit, loved it. Seeing people's opinions, whoosh, it's gone, gone down a little bit. I'm going to come to Ryan because you had it lowest out of the six of us, down in 8th. I'm going to ask you because I've just noticed now it is that template you're not keen on. Is that a reason why you scored it?
It's funny because I do like the sleeves. I love the covers on the sleeves, but I think it's more of the fact that it's annoying how Adidas have done it, where they make it so hard for people to get, and then it's got a bigger stature than it should have. As a result, like it's not especially unique with regards to the template at all, really. And the design, apart from the covers and attaching itself to Bob Marley, it hasn't really done anything. You know, it's sort of piggybacking off him as opposed to, and that's just clever marketing from Adidas. But like I had one of these that sold in the shop today for a friend. I didn't market it or whatever because there's a local artist that's going to do a piece on the Three Little Birds. He bought one. He bought one when they recently came available. He was told that they run small, so he bought a double XL, and it's too big for him. So he's going to use that one to frame for the painting that he's going to do. And then he wanted one for himself. So it all worked out that one friend sold through me to our friend and got them sorted. But the guy just sold it at the price. I think when it first came out in Kip Bag or whoever it was, it came out for like 55 with a promo. So he sold it for, I'm assuming that anyway, because he sold it for 55 because he just wanted a quick sale. He's sort of fed up with the fuss around the shirt as well, I think, like myself. So it's not that the shirt especially is ugly or anything at all. It's just more the whole fuss around it really annoys me. You know, it's unnecessary, like so.
Yeah, I think you find that with quite a few shirt releases these days. You know, the hype around it probably adds more to the shirt than what it is. Like, for personally, I'm a fan. I put it 4th in my list. I don't know if I know you kind of follow me on Twitter most of you, but I managed to get mine last week, I think it was, through the re-release on the Adidas website. Obviously, I tried to get one for my dad's birthday last year. Was let down on one, so put a tweet out just asking if anyone could know where they were available. Someone I don't know tried to give me some stick about it, saying I'm lazy. I'm not Googling myself, like I'd not already. But then someone messaged me and saying that they're actually available in the Adidas stores, which is really weird. Why do a sort of participation on the website to then have them in your store? So I have managed to get in one, thanks to James, which I'll be giving him this weekend when we go to the match. But yeah, it's odd that they've done this whole circus online where you can just walk into a shop and buy one. Josh, we'll come to you next. You had it 4th, same as me, in your list. Do you hate it now, or do you still feel the same?
Oh, you can just walk into an Adidas shop and just buy it, can you? Oh, is that true? Well, okay. Well, listen to this little ditty. I went down to London, right, to the classic football shirts exhibition. I don't leave Lincolnshire that often, and I was, there in the big city, just I'm off to the exhibition. This is going to be great. And then I see one of these pop-up shops, these pop-up Adidas shops, and it had all the branding. It had all the Bob Marley-esque sort of like posters outside and whatnot. And I'm like, oh wow! Before I go to the exhibition, let's just go into the Adidas shop and see whether or not they've got any. So I waltz in, and I go see the dude, and I say, I don't suppose you've got one of these shirts to look at, have you? Laughed at me. Just laughed at me. All no. And then I just felt broken. I just thought to myself, how could you do that to someone? But yeah, no, I must admit, I like it a lot. I didn't realise that it was to do with the fact that they sing a song called Three Little Birds, Ajax.
Marley, Three Little Birds, yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, and they did it because apparently they had a friendly against Cardiff, and I think the fans got told to stay behind, and that was going on from their tannoys, and they've been singing it ever since. And I thought, oh, that's quite a nice little thing.
okay.
But to influence a shirt design just because of the song they started singing, because they got left in Cardiff Stadium, it seems very sort of left field. But yeah,
I thought. I mean, my lazy interpretation was just Amsterdam's culture of being quite relaxed on certain.
For God's sake.
It's like I don't know, but yeah, it's a better story if it's about Cardiff.
It is. It's a lot better stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Actually, I feel a bit bad now for bad mouthing it. I thought it was just marketing ploys.
I did. I only just had a look about it earlier, and I was like, really? That seems like a very, very sort of far out way to influence a football shirt. I thought he supported him. I thought he supported Ajax or something.
The three little birds on the back of the shirt, if you can see it in there.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why. Not to twist the knife, Josh, but someone from London did actually offer to buy me one of the shirts and send it to me from Adidas.
I bet it's the same bloke, isn't it?
To be honest, I was in there at 5:30 this afternoon, and in all sizes, there was maybe 2 racks of them. So perhaps the hype has gone around the shirt. Get on it, Josh. I think I will be. I think I will end up getting one of these.
Yeah.
Josh, why don't you put one on your rider for next week, and we'll see if we can.
Think maybe just the mention you were saying about was it a raffle on the Adidas website? Is that how they were selling them?
You had to participate, and then obviously agreed that you'll definitely buy it and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe people think they're not in the shops then because of that. They're almost shooting themselves in the foot that way, So
yeah, and he sold that online because, like I said, I did try and go back and get an extra large, but they're all gone. But like I say, I've managed to sort one. Jake, we've not come to you yet, mate. I apologise. So yeah, you had it six in your list. Just let us know why.
I think maybe that's a bit of an overreaction, but I think it was sort of for the hype that surrounded it, because I got one a while ago and I was sort of like, yeah, it's all right. I like the vivid colors. I like the way it ties in with the cuff and everything, and the 3 little birds details on the neck. And it looks really good on the pitch. But it's just kind of like, if you didn't have those colors on the stripes, there's literally nothing in the design that's distinctive to that. And the fact is, I absolutely detest the Adidas collars. And I know it's the smaller Condivo one, but I just hate that collar type. So I got it and I had it for a bit, and I was like, and probably after about a couple of days, I was like, I don't really want this anymore. I'm a bit bored now. It's just I think it's a knee jerk of like, well, it's all hype, so therefore counterculture. I don't want it. I don't like it, but also I just was a bit underwhelmed. And I think we've seen that I think you touched on it then, which you saw people get it, and then there was a few people going, which, you know what, I actually don't like this as much as I thought I would, so I'll pass it on. But I still think I agree with James in that it's going to last forever. It's going to be a classic that just keeps on going. It's always going to be in high demand. And I don't know whether that's because the tone was set when it had its first run and sold out really quickly. But then I think it was to do with Ronaldo. You couldn't get a lot after it because they've suddenly switched to making loads of United tops because people wanted to buy United tops with Ronaldo in. So they stopped making so many of these, which is why they've not been re-released until now, because it'd usually probably only be a couple of months or so. So it's all Ronaldo's fault.
That's I think that happened with PSG as well with their home shirts. That's why they're wearing the black shirt at the minute. I don't know if you've seen that. I think it was on GFF or whatever. It's like a English-French league site. Yeah. And it said something like they can't get the stock for the home shirts for the players. So they can't even get them for the players. Like, that's
you'd think they prioritise 15 shirts, wouldn't you? But
yeah, even for one game, but they're having to use the third, I think it is, instead.
Those poor kids earning 10p a day can't get them out quick enough, can they? Disgusting. Well, there we go. We'll move on quickly. That is the 21-22 third shirt from Ajax. The Bob Marley inspired 3 Little Birds third shirt from this season, with a total of 41 points. 4. So we'll move on to the next one. Third in the list. Number 1 for me, Number 1 for James. He was wondering, no, that's not that one. Where's the shirt gone? That's not great. Let me just get it up. I don't know why it's not shown.
Technical issues.
Technical issues. It's all going wrong. I know why. It's done that.
Now I know what's number 1. I'll quickly think of how I can justify it as a head.
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah.
So you're talking about technical issues. Since about 10 minutes in, everybody's just been juddering horrifically. So that's why I've been staring down, because I've got my phone with YouTube on, streaming it, so that I can see what's on the screen, because I've got like 2 images flashing at me. It's a very stroby effect.
You've been a complete pro throughout, Jake.
Yeah.
If I got close enough, you'd probably see it flashing on my glasses. But yeah, it's very freaky.
Oh, this isn't great, is it?
I think it sorts itself out though when you upload it, doesn't it?
Oh, there we go.
Just keep that image on. It's fine. Yeah.
But this is the one that actually made me question the ranking of it, because it actually does look really good.
Yeah,
like on the pitch, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Right, let's get it sorted. Right. I'm sorry about this, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's really useful when you sent the on the pitch images along, because you get to see it with the shorts and whatnot. And
yeah, it can definitely change your opinion of it when you get the 2, because sometimes the cut of a shirt without anybody wearing it can make it look terrible.
But yes,
and then you can see it again with someone wearing it. It looks much better.
That's just trial and error for the last couple of weeks. I think you've all mentioned, obviously it looks okay, but then obviously I put pictures in of them, players wearing it afterwards. So I thought, I'll just send you the pictures with players wearing it now, because I think it'll help you all sort of get the shirts, kind of thing.
Yeah,
right. Let's get into it. We're back. Hope. Here we go. Right. Cooking on gas, guys. You can tell it's live, can't you? You can tell it's live.
Don't work with children or animals or shirts.
Talking about OCD, honestly, I'm raging at the moment. I'm telling you.
I'm on it better than I would. I'd have completely melted down. So.
Oh no, honestly. Right, let's get into it, Max. So yeah, number 3 on the list. My favourite shirt. I put it number 1. James put it number 1. It is the 95-96 away shirt.
Oh, okay.
Look at it. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to start with you though, James. I don't think we've started with Ryan so far. He had it 5th in his list. Ryan, let us know why this is so good, or middle of the road for you, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the cover. I couldn't really warm to. Probably is what's put me off more than anything else. Just looking at it. I mean, I like the massive badge through the shirt, and it's probably looking a bit brighter than what it actually looks when you wear it in that photo. I'm assuming it's going to be a CFS photo. They have theirs lit up quite well. I think when you're wearing it, you probably wouldn't see it just as much, but I think it's just the cover that I couldn't fully warm to. It is quite a plain design too, which isn't really what you would associate with their away or third shirts just as much when you look at some of the other ones there. But no, it's just sort of middle of the road. I think if there was 1 or 2 other ones put in, that would maybe be lower for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's some good reasons why you scored it down in 5th. Jake, you had it 3rd in your list. What stood out for you? What did you like about it?
I think I like the sort of the clarity that the design has. That it's pretty straightforward. It's really nice, but then you've also got the really nice sublimation with the big crest in there. I can overlook the fact that the alignment's all over the place. But again, you've got a nice mid-90s Umbro collar. You got the cuffs back, sort of almost matching in there with the black and the green and the white. So it kind of ties in quite nicely. It's clean, and again, it looked really good on the pitch as well. When you went onto that second photo, it just you're like, oh yeah, actually it looks really smart and really classy.
Yeah, I agree. Josh, you scored it lowest in 8th. You're not so much a fan then, I guess.
I just don't think it's very special. I think it's just a little bit average. I wouldn't say it's anything to shout about. It's probably sort of, how would I say, safe. I just don't know. I like the fact that it's got the Ajax badge there, sort of like stamp printed on there. It almost looks like a passport, doesn't it? But I don't quite sort of see the appeal. I'm not quite sure why it would be as high as it's gone on this particular one. I mean, I just don't know what more to say about it, really. It's just very average.
Oh yeah, no, fair enough. I think me and James giving it ones. I'd give it 10 points each, and then I think Sean had it 4th, a 3 from Josh, and even a 5 from Ryan. But so James, I mean, I'll just mention the reason why I've scored it number 1. This is the first shirt outside of United that I ever owned. I bought it. I think the season it obviously came out. There was one store in the centre of Manchester. Can't remember the name. And it was the only place I remember in the whole of Manchester where you could get shirts that weren't from the Premier League. It had every Barcelona, Real Madrid. I used to go in there on a Saturday or whatever and just spend ages in there looking at all these different shirts. If only I'd have known then what I know now, and I bought every single one going. I remember mithering for this shirt. The first shirt, like I say, I owned outside of United. Shirt that's on my list now. It's on one of what I try and get again. I absolutely love it. I love the green, that classic sort of sponsor, the proper 90s collar, and the sort of cuss on the sleeves, and like you've all said, the big sublimated Ajax badge in there just sets off a treat. So for me, that's the reason I had to put it in number 1. Probably more just because of what it means to me as a shirt. But James, you were the same, number 1.
Absolutely. Nostalgic reasons. I think more so than a lot of clubs, Ajax's older kits do hit me with a sense of nostalgia. But the cuffs, the collar are great. Everything there, I think, is well in Jake's wheelhouse. Sort of everything is sort of all comes together with that stamp in the background on the shirt. I quite like the colour. I think Ryan said he didn't really appreciate it. It's not quite a green, is it? I don't really know what it is, but I quite like it. And again, we mentioned about sort of seeing it in full flow on the pitch and how that can give it a different sort of can add to it or take away from it. But I think as a full block colour with the shorts and the socks there, it's just a really good kit. So that's why I scored it sort of ahead of the three little birds Bob Marley sort of Ajax one that's super popular.
But there we go. I think Josh, we mentioned this on your full episode on the podcast, and I remember we were speaking on the DMs about we thought the shorts were black, but I think they are actually all green.
It does look all unified, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I think black shorts would really suit it as well. I think that would set that shirt off a treat. But there we go. 3rd in the list with 44 points is the 95 to 96 Ajax away shirt. Just missing out. From the top, there's a couple of points between the top 3 there. Next, you've probably seen it due to the technical issues or me being an idiot. Second, with 46 points, is the 2021 Ajax away shirt, the denim-looking, sort of static-looking shirt from Adidas. It's a great shirt. Another one, like James was saying, will go down in sort of folklore as a classic kit, I think. Couple of people, the highest person was Jake, with second on his list. So we'll kick it off for you then, Jake. You're a big fan, I guess.
Yeah, I just quite like it's quite a distinctive design. It's very, I'm a sucker for a crew neck, I think. Even though I was talking about liking collars earlier, as long as anything's not a V-neck, I think. But yeah, it just looks smart, but also being distinctive and clean as well. Now, when I first started coming into shirts, like sort of re-picking up a love of shirts and stuff, sort of, these were going really cheap on their website. I think they were like 20 quid or something. And I hadn't really bought anything from overseas before. So I was like, I'll leave it for now. And it's like, it still seems it's got a lot of value to a lot of people now, where even though they sort of just wanted to get rid of them. But I think they're just a really smart, sort of very good contemporary modern look. It's very sharp. And again, it looks really good on the pitch.
Yeah, great. I'll show a picture of that. Yeah, like I said, Tadic there. In that shirt, the shorts look great as well. I think the darker shorts and socks set it off as well. I agree with that.
Bringing that red in really makes all that difference. It's that little bit on the collar, and then with the badge, and then you can tie it in with the short. Very good.
Yeah, looks great. And the name set obviously was red as well, I believe. So, yeah, some great points. Sean had it third on his list, as well as you, James. You had it third as well. And Josh, yeah, scored quite high for everyone, really. Start with you then, James. Third on your list.
Yeah, I really like it. It's I sort of everything that Jake said, I can take on board with that and just completely agree with. It's a really good design, different, but it's not so different that you're thinking they're trying too hard or they're trying to. Sometimes you see a kit and you're like, well, that's just a publicity stunt to just try and catch the attention for people. But with this one, it's a really good design. It's like fractured sort of, I want to say like ice or glass, and then you've got like the blue diagonal lines going through it. I completely agree. The red sort of makes the badge pop and really adds to it. So yeah, that's why it's sort of in my top 3. Did we say? So yeah, no, it's a really good kit.
Yeah, third. Josh, you had it third as well, mate. You echoing what the guys are saying so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I probably would have swapped this out with maybe the first place, but I don't think that it has any sort of like story behind it, other than it's referencing sort of like 80s, 90s sort of like patterning. It was one of the first, if I remember, to come out that season. Like out of all the elite teams, that was the first one I think to come out. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that came out pretty soon, and it just went viral. Like everybody was just raving about it, and it's not hard to see why. I think there's like a common perception that you have to reference something, you have to reference the past or a bit of history or a landmark or whatnot. But I think this is futuristic, retro, and very appealing. And I think that Adidas have just absolutely nailed it. And yeah, I think it will go down as one of the ones which will be tried to pick up later on.
Yeah, echo that entirely. We'll finish off with you, Ryan. I had it 5th, you had it 4th.
Yeah.
Again, is it a template you're not keen on, or does this shirt?
No, I think it's. I quite like it. I like the way the red for the badge. I like the way they didn't just make it, sort of white and like maybe teal or whatever that our color is. It would have been quite bland then. Obviously, as mentioned before, with the red on the collar too. So I'm glad they didn't do red with the sponsor, though. I think that probably would have been overkill. It's like just the right balance of contrast for the covers there. So even the white stripes and the shoulders, that template, as I've mentioned, but they seem to have got it right there. So it's a very, very nice shirt. It's one of them when you sort of look at it again, you see it being worn, you think maybe it could have rated that a bit higher because of the way the shorts are. Just offsets it a bit better. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. So there we go. If anyone's interested, Sean would score this out of 8 out of 10 for a night out. This one, so I think he would frequent the bars in Glossop wearing it. So yeah, that's it. Second on the list, the 2021 away shirt from Ajax and Adidas. So yeah, we're down to number 1. The guys will probably all know which one it is. Very iconic kit. Caused a lot of debate on Twitter from me this weekend. It is the 94-95 Champions League winning away shirt from Ajax and Umbro. Yeah, it's come top of our list with 47 points. So the previous shirt missed out by just 1 point. It was that close in terms of the scoring. Only one person scored it top of the list, and that was Jake, number 1 for you, mate. Tell us why this is the best shirt that Ajax have had, away shirt that Ajax have had.
I think it's Champions League winning, so it's very defining in that sense. And then the team that they had then was very defining for when I was growing up and starting to appreciate football outside of England or the UK. So the fact that there was like Van der Sar, David, Seedorf, Kluivert, all sorts in that side, they all went on to sort of be a staple of the European sides that I then followed and really liked. So there's a huge nostalgic value in there as well. And the fact that it's kind of just, this defines modern Ajax to me, rather than the sort of the Dennis Bergkamp versions, probably just because of my age. And I also just like Umbro 90s. I think the only thing that takes it down for me is the white. I don't think it needs the white on the collar or the little bit in front of the collar. I think it just bringing that sort of like burgundy-ish red and the navy blue in would have been nicer.
Yeah, no, some great points on a classic shirt. Ryan, you and I both had it second in our list, so clearly we know what we're talking about. Why is it the second best shirt, or does it deserve to be number 1?
I mean, if it was number 1, on my, I love that 91-93 shirt, as I say, but if it had went 94, 95 and look back on the list, I wouldn't be annoyed because it is such a great shirt, as Jake said there, with the players that wore it. And just the design as well. It's just I don't know. It's not as if it's like a set pattern or anything. It's not perfectly symmetrical or something. They just got it right. The colours are great. I know what you mean about the white part, just at the collar there. It's a bit. You wonder why they've done that, but they sort of get away with it, I think, because of the white stripe at the base of the collar as well. But no, it is. It's a fantastic shirt. It's. I'm glad it got number 1 over, for example, the 89 or 90 away.
Yeah, I think we all do now after what we said about that. Josh, you and Sean matching up again, both had it 5th in your list. What are your thoughts on this shirt?
It's. I think it's just very much sort of like evident that football shirts are just such a personal touch, aren't they? Like the reasons which have been given are all great reasons. The fact that they were, Champions League winning shirts, and does that necessarily make it a good shirt? It was a great memory, but is it a good shirt? I don't know. For me, I don't know. I don't like it. I like the fact that Umbro have sort of celebrated it a lot, because haven't they got the double diamonds sort of like quite prolific throughout? I'm sure that's the diamond, isn't it? Yeah, it is. No, I like it. I don't love it. I just think that for me, it's not really something that I would say was a good football shirt. Maybe good football shirt memories that went with it, perhaps, but no, I think they're just stronger ones in this list for me.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine, Josh. Don't worry, no one's judging you, mate. James, you had it 1 place higher in 4th. Finished off then, mate. What are your thoughts on what turned out to be number 1 in our list?
Yeah, you know what? Not mad that it's finished first. It's not like I'm not like, it should have been something else. I can see why it got the scores it did. Obviously, the backstory, obviously, with the Champions League as well. And yeah, like what Jake's saying, a lot of these players went on to bigger and better things, arguably, and were part of sort of football to come, sort of along the way. So I completely get that. I really like the collar. Really like the badge as well. Sort of with taking in the colours of the kit itself, and Umbro again with another good kit. So I'm not mad at all that it's number 1. And again, like Josh said, I think you can take on board what everyone said and almost think, you know what, it should be number 1. So yeah, no, it's overall, as long as it's not the TDK 89 shirt, it's a win for me.
Well, there you go. Number 1 on our list of Ajax away and third shirts. The 94 to 95 away Champions League winning shirt with 47 points. Tops the list of what I would say is a great list, apart from 89-90. If you are now Josh, obviously, he hates that kit, and if he ever sees it, he's probably going to burn it, I would say. There we go. That is. Yeah, that is tonight's show for you. Thanks for joining us. Big, massive thank you to all the guests that are here. It's been a pleasure talking kit with you. Jake, thanks, mate. We really appreciate you having you on. Hopefully it's not the last time we'll see you on Full Kit Rankers.
Sure.
If people want to check you out, where can they find you? And give them the deets.
It's pretty much all over Twitter. So Kit Nerd UK, and then I'll point you anywhere else after that. But yeah, just find me on Twitter. I'm always there.
Yeah, make sure you do. Ryan, it's been a massive pleasure. Big fan of you. You know, I've been following the store for a long time, so it's great to connect with you, mate, and have you on the show. It's been brilliant.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks very much. Really enjoyed it. I just looked there and I didn't realize how long we've been talking, because it just, you don't think about it at all. I really enjoyed it. And I appreciate the invite. I'd love to come back sometime.
Yeah, more than welcome anytime. I know there's been a little chatter of maybe the Talking Kit lads and Josh popping over to see you, but that's something we'll...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we could do something, film something at the shop or something. Certainly, that'd be fantastic. Love to have you here.
I look forward to getting Josh's invoice for the plane ticket as well. I'm kidding. Josh, as always, the fourth member of the band. Mate, thanks for spending your time with us again on a Wednesday.
I love it. I love it. It's good.
It's great. Sorry, Ryan. Sorry, just to cut you off, Jake. Where can people find you? What people want to check more information?
I'm absolutely terrible at marketing my business, apparently. Shalana Classic Shirt Co. On Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, obviously the website as well, and trying to eventually grow on YouTube, but I'm not very good at it. So I'll eventually get something sorted and start doing like stock preview videos and stuff. But I can do a conversation, things like this, but a camera and me on my own, it's the most awkward, terrible thing of all time. So that'll maybe happen towards the end of the year. But just Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and my Classic Shirt Co. And if anyone has any queries or anything, the shirts, get in touch.
Amazing. Yeah, make sure you do. Sorry for cutting you off, Josh. Anything you want to tell people? Anything new or what?
No, I was just saying that Ryan's store at NI Classics are just awesome. I don't know if you folks have seen it, but the work you put into that, mate, and the way you've got it going, and you know, it's just credit to you. No, it's absolutely awesome.
Amazing dedication in there. Well done.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's probably a bit of an obsession more than anything else, you know. So, but thankfully a good one. So
no, it really is, dude.
Thank you.
Awesome. So yeah, Josh, same time next week.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, love it.
He'll be praying Sean's back, so he's not getting, he's not getting the sniper bullets from you.
It's because I love him so much. That's why I do it.
It's endearment. It's more than endearment.
He knows how I feel. He knows how I feel about him. He knows. James, we'll finish with you then, mate. Anything you want to say, plug or anything?
No, just as always, Talking Kit, really. Just get on board with us. This is what we do. If you're into your kits, if you're into football and you just want to get some general chit-chat with it, we're the guys to do that for you. We're looking to bring more content on board, a few different videos, not just Full Kit Rankers. So get involved. The more you put in, the more you get out. So if you tell us ideas for a show, any kits you want reviewing, hit us up, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to do it. So just like and subscribe.
Yeah, I fully agree. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Full Kit Rankers. We'll be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. We will also hopefully have another full pod episode out very, very soon. We've got one couple lined up. So, we're looking to drop them very, very soon. If it is your first time talking kit, make sure to like the video. Check out previous pods and other episodes of this show. And, hit subscribe. We're getting closer. The road to 1K is on the way. We want to try and get that by the end of the year. Small goal. get involved in the show. Let us know if you want to come on and talk kit with us. That would be great. We will see you next week, and yeah, we will take it easy and make sure that you keep it talking kit as always.